So hello, Claire. Thank you very much. This is Claire Wates that has kindly been the very first person to agree to be interviewed on this inspirational interview series that I'm running. So welcome, Claire Wates. How are you?
I'm really well, Maura, and it's great to see you as always. And I always love our chats. We always have a good laugh and crack through all the subjects. So really looking forward to this one. Thank you.
Brilliant. So this interview series is to inspire women throughout the world, actually, who are in midlife and wanting to make a change, which I think most of us get to midlife and think, is this it? There's got to be something more to life than I'm doing at the moment. So could you tell us about your journey from corporate sales to starting your lovely and the business that you love so much because you love pets, Doggy Smiles? So how did it all begin?
Basically, after I've been in the advertising world, corporate world for about 25 years, and due to sad sort of family circumstances, I stepped out when my stepmother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. A lot of family things going on, so my sort of exit was very swift, and I found myself at a crossroads in life, life and career, in fact, all at the same time. And I came across your challenge last summer. And as I said before, I'm a strong believer in fate, had this amazing challenge that we did. And part of that was coming up with an idea, sort of like a business idea. And I'd really never thought about doing anything on my own ever, because I was very corporate and that's kind of what I did. But nevertheless, the idea, very much an embryo of an idea. And I said to you, I've got this strange idea. What do you think? So it really came out of nothing, but really out of the idea came from nowhere, if you like, but the passion was really about, well, the amazing dog I grew up with, Katie, our Labrador, who was my sort of forever companion for about 16 years. This sort of passion for dogs, wanting to create something, but I wanted to build a brand with a difference. And that's exactly, hopefully, what I have achieved. So Doggy Smiles, just because I think that whenever you walk down the street, dogs do smile at you. And I've spent the last 50 plus years smiling at dogs, really. And I felt that that was the name that represented, I want to bring happiness and joy, but create something with a twist. So Doggy Smiles wanted to be different and make a difference too. So, I mean, God knows there are a lot of doggy bandanas on the market, you're spoiled for choice. But I felt there was a niche in terms of eco-friendly doggy bandanas and fashion generally. So Doggy Smiles certainly stands for sustainability, eco-friendly. We don't use any of our own or any sort of off-the-roll fabrics. So the designs are created by me. I have a designer who is quite long suffering. His English is a little bit limited, but we're understanding each other heaps better now. And so we create these designs, which then are printed on 100% organic cotton here in the UK. So everything is as close to home as possible. And the important part for me is, well, it's all important, but the really important giving back element is our association with hearing dogs for deaf people. And yeah, I felt I really wanted to have something that, let's say, gave back, that gave everything a meaning and a purpose. It wasn't just selling another lovely, pretty doggy bandana, to actually change someone's life. And once I started sort of looking for charities, they really stood out for me as being the one that you just wouldn't imagine what these hearing dogs can do. And the videos are, well, if you cry in Black Beauty, you're certainly going to cry in a hearing dogs for deaf people video. It is life changing. These people, it makes a difference, and that's what I want to create alongside having hopefully a successful business.
Exactly. What were when you first started, because there's going to be lots of women looking at this, and they'll have either started a business that they're maybe struggling to get going with and not sure how they're going to make a go of it, or they're at the point in their lives where they're thinking, oh, there's got to be more to life than this, which is, as I say, a lot of midlife women, they get to that point, a huge majority actually, and they think, I've got to earn money, I can't just give up work, and I want to stop doing what I'm doing. So what were the things that really, the big challenge that you overcame at that point when you were just starting off? I know that you did the challenge and that inspired you, but even so, it's still a big leap, isn't it?
It's a huge leap. And I think the biggest thing, especially when maybe you find yourself by your corporate life, is that it's mindset, because you have this huge team behind you. And therefore, it's not just you sort of toiling at the coal face on your own. There is this sort of team behind you, even though I've always worked for quite small companies, but always people who are there and who you can ask. And suddenly you find yourself flying solo and doing absolutely everything, from deciding what size your doggy bandanas are through to designing them. And I guess my challenge sort of was to myself as much as anything. And I'm somebody who has a lot of grit and determination, but I think you do need to have self-belief, and goodness knows I don't have self-belief every day. I think mindset, and even more successful people who I've sort of come to know, yourself and other sort of mentors, everyone has self-doubt. It's normal, it's human, but it's pushing through that. And also I think being part of a community is the really key bit, because you can feel very alone, and it's having people around you. I had a bit of a wobble, and who my sort of go-to people are, and they're people who I've met through your group, and we bolster each other. And not everyone's going to be up at the same time, or indeed down at the same time, but it's that sense that people are there. We celebrate our successes, but we're also there and understand it's not going to go in straight lines, because life doesn't go in straight lines.
Exactly. And that's actually important, isn't it, to surround yourself with women who are actually going through a similar journey, who understand. Because sometimes, even though family are supportive, when you say something to them, they go, oh.
Really? Yeah, no, I think it's a sense of community, and I think it's having people who are all on different business journeys, but we're all pushing together to achieve. And we, it's not a competitive environment, and corporate can be competitive. I mean, you've been in the corporate world, and people can jostle for positions sometimes, but there isn't that in the groups. And I think that that's what's really key, and therefore celebrating the fact that the end of a corporate life isn't the end of life, because you're running your family alongside, you've got your furry family who are running about, and whatever it is, there's always going to be stuff in people's world, but the groups give you a safe place to be, and a sense of community and real support, and the support is phenomenal. And I think what you've created, and wanting to create in the wider global world, is a huge it's a huge stepping stone to say to people, there is more to this, and to actually follow your dream. And God, if I can produce doggy bandanas out of a grain of an idea, but you've got to know you're in it for the long run. You've got to know that, but a group of support is key, absolutely key.
Yeah. And what is your advice to somebody? I mean, I know now your doggy bandanas are starting to sell, and and you're a proud business owner, and all sorts of things are happening, and you've pushed yourself out of your comfort zone in so many different ways. So what is your advice to somebody who's, like I say, either got a business that they're struggling with, or they've got this dream? I always say it's women in midlife are going back to a dream that maybe they had before they became wife and mum, that they're going back to find that dream again.
I think it's a community, whether it's your community, which is going to go global, or indeed others, because I think different sort of business mentors do resonate with different people, depending on, sort of person A doesn't necessarily going to resonate with person B. I felt very comfortable at home from when I started the challenge, and you start direct messaging people, and I reached out to the people who I chat to. I don't want to compromise in any way, but it's just, we started talking, and people are willing to share ideas with you, and to try and help them, and you just kind of check in with them every now and again. And the courses that we've done together, and I appreciate courses aren't for everybody either, but being part of a group, if you contribute, if you give something back, and are interested in other people's businesses and not just your own, it has to be a two-way street. It's got to be a partnership, in the sense of being there and saying, well, yes, I struggled with this, or how about the other? Or I mean, we have a number of photographers in the group who've been hugely helpful, and photography, apart from the design element, has been boiling my brain. And I did in fact purchase what was recommended, and it is now sitting out on the wall. And we the first bits of photography that I have done that have actually really worked quite well have happened. So, and if again, people are willing to share their ideas, or say, just share knowledge, but without feeling that you're compromising your own situation, you're giving back with pleasure, because it's part of the group. It's so valuable. I would have given up by now, I think we can safely say, definitely, without you and the wider groups, for sure.
Oh, thank you. It is definitely the support of other women. And that's what I always say. Once you, as you said right from the beginning, the first thing you miss, even though you might be in a job that you hate and you can't wait to leave, but you don't realise you're going to miss the team behind you, the other people.
It's the people.
It's the people. And so being an entrepreneur or a business owner on your own is tough. So having other people around you is so important, isn't it? Having like-minded women around you going through a similar journey is crucial.
It is the mind monkeys. The mind monkeys can get you when you can't sleep at night and you've just ploughed the latest tech issue, which is normally me. and you're thinking, oh Lordy, oh, that's just so not good, and you know, didn't like that, and you know, hubby couldn't help, and you know, the ladies in the group was making, you know, encouraging noises, but you haven't had a chance to even try it out, but you feel blocked and you feel frustrated. And I think it's being realistic in what you can achieve, and again, setting goals that are doable, stretch you, but don't make you feel like you failed. And I think it's that sense of failure, and it's the fear of failure as well. And I think that, you know, when you've worked for a very successful company, as I have done, and you know, you're kind of known that you did your, you know, you did your gig and you did it reasonably well, it suddenly was like, well, it's down to me, but there's nobody else to back me up on editorial. There's nobody else to sort of sort out my latest sort of blonde tech moment or whatever. This is me. This is it. And I think somebody said in one of the sort of social media posts is, you are enough. And it's believing that actually you are enough. You are enough with help. But that's the thing. It's asking for the help, because you won't necessarily have that physical person who is employed as part of a team. You've got to kind of go seek it, you know, watch the videos, try, Google, whatever. But if you're still stumped, you know, you push it out there, and people are always lovely and do help.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. So where are you now? What are your dreams for the future for Doggy Smiles? And that name always makes me smile. Doggy Smiles always makes me smile.
Oh, thank you. I mean, at the minute, obviously leading up to Christmas, in the sort of short-term goals, we've got some really good Christmas markets coming up, and they're actually billed as Christmas markets a little bit later on, but I'm starting, my Christmas designs are out there. They're being printed at the minute, arriving on Thursday. So I can start to those. Yeah, it'll be exciting. And then Saturday is my third craft market in a local town, and certainly I'm in the same hall as before. Doggies are welcome. So in that sense, I've met some lovely dogs and owners and had some really funny ones, funny experiences, but that's good. And since I love the physical, I love the face-to-face stand, it's what I'm used to. And that's what I thrive on. The website is getting dangerously close to being finished, but it's all on me in terms of uploading pictures to the shop, and my lovely web designer has got health issues which are slightly well catalogued, and she does need to step out. So, you know, she has been amazing. And again, it's the support of others. I didn't know this lady, you know, a few months ago, and I arrive on her doorstep with my latest round of doggy bandanas or latest problems or whatever, and she kind of fixes me up. But the website is really, that's going to be for me the game changer, the turning point, rather than necessarily working off leads that come through other, I mean, social media, obviously Facebook's having a bit of a moment at the minute, but you know, other recommendations. So to really get that over the line and be known for sort of, you know, the go-to eco-friendly doggy fashion, you know, with a heart, i.e. the giving back element, would be really amazing. I think we've talked about passive income for the future, but I want to really, you know, get the sort of the pillars of the business set up, which is the actual sort of main core of the bandanas, the bow ties and the scrunchies. So I brought you the baby one just so you can see. I think that's so sweet. That's extra small, isn't that cute? Tiny, tiny. Bow ties, whoosh, and hair scrunchies, human hair or doggy fur, whichever you provide. Because somebody said to me at the market the other week, I think that would be brilliant for my sort of my dog's ears. It's like, oh my God, you're so right. You know, so it's doggy or human ears. So it's the three core products at this point, adding some passive income with maybe some sort of down ebook type thing would be amazing. And maybe some other products that, you know, just align with the brand values. But at this point, I think you need to kind of, somebody in the corporate world said to me, you need to sweat those assets. So there we go. We need to sweat those assets of the fabric designs I've got. And really, by the time I've done the Christmas designs, it'll be 21 designs in total. Not all have been released, but it means I've got amazing designs. So, you know, quietly, it's happening.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Claire, so much for sharing your journey, because it's been a lovely journey. And it's been a lovely journey to be a part of. I've been watching it all the way along.
Oh, thank you.
And it's just to show that it's just believing in yourself, taking that leap of faith. And once you believe in yourself, you actually can achieve anything with some help and support. So thank you very much for talking with me.
Thank you so much. It's always lovely to chat.
And I can't wait to see what the future holds for you and Doggy Smiles. So I will see you soon. Take care, Claire.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay.